Esther and her father and two brothers live in abject poverty. The father has been trying his possible best to make a living and cater for his kids. Now, before that, their mom left their father because he could not survive or also provide for the family. The mother left because she did not want to live with her husband due to how they lived in abject poverty. Esther and her two brothers begged their mother not to leave them behind, but she insisted and left them. Weeks later, their father began to beg on the street, beg friends, beg family, beg colleagues for alms to cater or even feed his kids. As he promised to pay later, he was unable to fulfill that. One man called Boss came in and asked him to pay back all the loans he has loaned from him. He begged so many times that he would pay back in so time, but was unable to meet the deadline. Boss forced Esther out on the house to hold hostage that if his father is not able to pay back his loan, then Esther has to work for the payment. Esther, thinking the job boss was talking about has to do with cleaning or housemaid job, only to find out that the job is prostitution. She begged severally not to be introduced to that, but boss find a way to convince the madam of the place to introduce Esther to this prostitution work. Esther had no choice but to be forced into this job at a tender age. Before she was forced into it, boss defiled her and introduced her into the job. Years later, Esther is now a full-grown adult and her name is being changed to Estra. She has been able to generate more than half of the money her father borrowed. So one day she visited her father and alerted her father that she will be able to pay all the loan in no due time. She went outside to answer a call, only to return and find her father dead. Before the death of her father, whilst in the club, she met a young boy who was interested in her, but she refused the gesture because her job does not permit her to do that. This young boy called Ray went head and over to pay huge sum of money for Extra to spend the weekend with him. Madame advised Extra to be very careful and also make good use of the time being spent with Ray because he has paid a huge amount of money just to have her all over the weekend. Extra went to Ray's house and met him and also his friend called Rambo. Both men were happy to see him, but Ray was super excited but also shocked. Immediately, Extra went into work mode and wanted to sleep with Ray, but Ray refused and said he just wanted to spend the weekend with her. Extra was confused and didn't know what to say, but Ray insisted and said all he wanted was to spend the time and get to know her. Extra and Ray spent the whole weekend having much conversation and getting to know each other. From there, they became friends. Extra went back to her work one night. Ray and Rambo went to the club and met Extra stripping. Ray tried to prevent men from touching Extra. Extra slapped and poured drink on Ray. Rambo called Ray aside and advised him to stop chasing a prostitute. but Ray warned Rambo never to call Extra that because he is in love with her. Rambo, as a supportive friend, decided to do some digging and investigation about Extra to find the reason why she is doing this particular job. Days later, they found the reason, and Ray tried to advise Extra that he will be able to bail her out. But Extra warned Ray that Boss is a dangerous man, and because of that, she wouldn't be able to stop this business until she is able to pay all the debt her father is owing. Months later, Ray found out that Extra has lost her father, so Ray tried to visit her in her house only to overheard Madame forcing Extra to go for work duties. Extra was so angry, surprised to how insensitive Madame was despite the fact that she lost her father that day. After Madame left, Ray walked into the room and asked Extra not to go for any work because he is going to pay a double of the amount that she is going to earn that day. Extra spent the whole time with Ray, and after the burial of her father, she visited her younger brother, but this brother was not interested in meeting her because of the job she does. The brother accused her of the death of their younger sibling as well as the death of their father. Extra tried to explain, but the brother was adamant to hear. Ray was paying close attention to how Extra and the brother were exchanging altercations. After they left, Ray went back to the brother to advise the brother that Extra has spent her whole life trying to save the family and also save their father. But the brother was not ready to hear. Ray and Extra brother exchanged some fight blows and ended up feasting on each other. Rambo walked in and saved the situation. Extra went home and met Boss in her house. Boss asked her to satisfy him. She refused, but Boss threatened her. She went on, cried her eyes out, and satisfied the boss. Boss warned her never to get close to Ray again, or else she will face the consequences. Few days later, Ray went back to the club, met Extra, but Extra was not in talking terms with him because of the warning Boss gave her. Days later, Ray has not seen Extra for all those days. Rambo and Ray went back to the club to look for her, only to be told that Extra has been with Boss for days. Ray became so confused and wanted to call the police, but Rambo stopped him, waited for Extra to be back. They came back and Rambo confronted Boss, warned Boss to leave Extra alone, but he refused. That was how fights brewed between Rambo and Boss and the other ladies in the club. Rambo and Ray now have full evidences on Boss and the madam of the club on how they take young girls and force them into prostitution. A week later, the police raided the club and arrested Boss and madam. The women and girls in the club were freed. Esther was free. She was so thankful and happy about her situation, but also sad because she lost her father. Ray and Extra were cozy with each other, visited the club to reminisce the bad memories she has gotten from this place. She then got a call from her younger brother to apologize. The younger brother apologizes for everything and appreciated her for saving them all these years. She ended the call. Ezra went on to thank Ray for everything he has done for her. She also went on to thank Ray because he is the reason her brother called to apologize and appreciate her. Ray promised to be her shoulder to lean on and her comforter. He also promised to love her. Ezra was not convinced because she knows that being a prostitute is going to prevent her from getting married or even getting the love of her life. But Ray assured her that she should not be defined by her past or her experience. He is here to stay and has promised to love her forever. Thanks for watching this recap. This channel brings you the best Nollywood movies. We save you time and money. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos for more movie recaps.